The hell? What just happened? Why did the TV just turn off? Jesus Christ, why the hell won't my switch work? What the hell's this?
Dear Pcuspard, I've taken a notice in your recent noir bashing. Not that I'm against it.
Like I've said in my previous videos, I love these characters, and even Noire isn't that terrible this time. Trust me, I have a lot to say about this game, though the worst part about that game is its protagonist.
However, the only one allowed to tease my precious Noire is me! Your punishment is this! You get to play the game that you very much hate! Cry for me!
Wait a second. Thank God! My PC's crap! I can barely play past the opening! I'm free!
Don't think I didn't notice this! Your master, Iris Heart.
God damn it, Plutia. Holy hecking heck, what fury have I brought upon myself? For reasons I'll never understand, the poll after Victory was released showcased a popularity contest to decide who to make the next main character of a spin-off. Noire somehow won. I never understood how, but in February of 2015, HyperDevotion Noire Goddess Blackheart would release on store shelves, and in April 2016 on Steam. Even with me being a Neptunia fan, when I got introduced in late 2015, I never saw an interest in this game. One, because I never liked Noire, and two, because I'm not really into strategy RPGs. There's a reason Fire Emblem's only number 10 on my list. I just didn't have the personal taste in it. But, as you can see now, I really don't have a choice here. Thanks, Plutia.
You're welcome!
Ugh, let's get this over with.
Don't let your kids watch it!
This story is in an alternate universe, much like Producing Perfection was. However, this isn't named Game Industry, but Game Market. I don't know why they changed the name. I mean, they're literally synonyms of each other, so I don't see the point. Was this an attempt to make the game different from others? Oh no, Jesus Christ. Anyways, this story starts in the midst of another console war. However, instead of how it was in Rebirth 1, Neptune, Blonde, and Best Girl all team up against Noire, who is very much a tyrant here. She even looks evil with this backdrop. I know, I'm grasping at straws. Either way, somehow, even though in literally every other game, Neptune has always been stronger than Noire, Blackheart was able to take out 3 CPUs on her own. I say on her own because we don't see her generals take part in this. Yeah, real believable. The other 3 CPUs retreat, leaving Histy behind on accident as some time passes. Noire is basically ruling Game Market at this point, until she gets called to meet with R4, under the fake name Eno. The two get along as Noire gets complacent, and she lets R4 take the shares away, making Noire lose power. I cannot stand this. No matter the universe, when it comes down to helping her nation, Noire knew exactly what to do. Even if she was told it could end this console war sooner for her people, Noire would not be this easy to convince. Over the course of a few months, maybe, but not after an afternoon eating and chatting together. This just flanderizes Noire's character from the main games to satisfy this one, and it makes a weaker protagonist in turn, which makes the whole plot of the game her damn fault! And as monsters begin to invade Last Station, she's powerless until, a faceless protagonist shows up, giving Noire his belief in her, allowing her to become Blackheart. God, where do I begin here? 1. The faceless protagonist isn't needed here. He swore could have easily filled this role as she had a lot of trust in Noire at this point. Number 2. Why did this game even need a faceless protagonist? It's clear he's supposed to represent the player, as he doesn't have his own voice actor. But yet, why can't the player name him? He's player for his part of Chapter 1, and secretary for the rest of the game. This game also tries to bring in a subtle romance between the Secretary and Noire, which is ham-fisted at best. Secretary should just go off with Salary. She already likes him. Oh yeah, the generals. Kinda forgot about them. As chapters progress, you will recruit more generals based on games released on the consoles. Obviously, most of them are going to be on PlayStation consoles because, Noire. For example, the previously mentioned Salary, referencing Tokimeki Memorial, Li Fai of Street Fighter, Win of Pro Soccer, Resta of Agarest War, Estelle of Dragon Knight, Ein Al of Final Fantasy, Lid for Metal Gear, Vio for Resident Evil, Denaria G of Gundam Generations. There's also Blossom Eisen for Sakura Wars, Lady Whack for Pac-Man, and Tsunemi for the Hatsune Miku games. Little Rain for Neverland, Puna for Opuna, nice job there guys, Moru for Monster Hunters, Ai Matsujima for Idolmaster, as well as Ryuka from Yakuza and Sango for Dynasty Warriors. These generals don't really have that much in personality aside from what's shown. Salary's in love with the Secretary, Estelle's a knight, Win is just nice. Though at times it can be kind of clever. For example, Sango believes she is the ultimate authority because in Dynasty Warriors, the only one that both matters and does anything is the player. The majority of the plot is delved to recruiting these generals back to your side, as most won't listen as they are stronger than Noire without her shares. Then you fight R4 and that's it. Honestly, this story sucked. We got a worse version of Noire in this game than in every other game she was in, a useless character in the form of the Secretary, and generals with small amounts of personality. Honestly, compared to the previous game I looked at, as well as the main series up to this point, the story of HyperDevotion Noire feels incredibly lackluster. Producing Perfection had a faceless protagonist, but he served a purpose as the CPU's producer, making him half the story he was needed in. Rebirth 1 had a ton of characters, but it gives each of them a personality instead of quick quirks. Rebirth 3 also had a ton of characters you could have, but really there's only 7 characters that are playable and not free DLC. Having that many characters in HyperDevotion Noire makes its characters not gain much focus. The presentation here isn't the best either. Whereas at least Producing Perfection had its own songs in the concert portions of the game, all of the music is carried over from previous titles here. There are those few that are just non-exclusive and meant for a certain situation in the Neptunia franchise, but even all of the original music of previous games, mainly Rebirth 2, is reused here. The Deity of Sin music, Goddess Awakening, Jesus, just about the only thing original in terms of music is the main theme of the game, Shikoku no Sustain, which is beautifully sung by Noire's Japanese voice actress. The vocals go so well with how the guitar is played. As for the chibi models, I don't have anything to complain about with them. It gives the game a nice amount of originality, as no other Neptunia game uses the chibis, so that makes the game stand out. You can select only 7 out of your available units for this game. I guess any more would either be unfair or unbearable, but I'll get to that. You move your units with the D-pad while the left control stick utilizes the camera, which for me, who's played a lot of modern Fire Emblem but the control stick wouldn't control the character, feels a bit off. You can also move your units similarly to Fire Emblem and various other strategy RPGs, using items, attacking your enemies, or using SP skills or EXE drive. However, what I didn't mention was that the other analog stick controls the camera. The left analog stick controls the varying views, whereas the right analog stick zooms in and out. What is the point of this? Why can't they just be on one analog stick? Why can't it just all be on the right analog stick? Other Neptunia games have shown that they can have a camera like this, so why is this game not able to do that? Anyways, each character has their own buffs and such, like how Blonde is a tank, Neptune's a jack of all trades, Saori is support, and so on and so forth. What makes this game incredibly frustrating for me is the speed. The game's too slow at points, especially when your units are moving. This only drives me to make me incredibly bored as I continue to play this game. Plus there's the Sim Noire where you do tasks with Noire, basically answering questions of our supporters. However, this doesn't net you anything but an extra ending scene, as the way to get the true ending is by having a 70 plus Lily ranking with all of the characters. Good luck and go nuts! Unfortunately, I definitely can't recommend HyperDevotion Noire to everybody. The story is lackluster at best and complete boring crap at worst. The music is completely unoriginal, the gameplay is too slow, and the only good things about it were a few of the generals with clever quirks, because I don't have much to look forward to with an awkward control style this game shows. The Sim Noire gameplay is boring and unnecessary, ultimately leaving me with a weak experience. I can only recommend this to Super Noire fans, which I'm clearly not. So if you're like me, stay the hell away from this game. There's a reason Plutia only spent barely $5 on this game. There! I did the review. Did that make you happy, you sadistic fluffy bunny? And she's asleep now. Once again, of course. Okay guys, next time should be a bit more positive. Next time we're looking at 2 games. HyperDimension Neptunia U Action Unleashed and Mega Dimension Blonde plus Neptune vs. Zombies. So until then, I'm Pcuspard, and see you next game.